and Orientalist decipherer of the Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Now, you can't dig up nothing going back 5,000 years, 6,000 years, 7,000 years, for that case, for that matter, 50,000 years, and dig up something, or dig up a structure, and all of a sudden there's symbols on it, and all of a sudden you know what the symbols mean. You have to have a reference point. So this guy right here, this Edomite, this white man, had a reference point to break it down. He didn't just look at the symbols and said this means that and this means this. Because I can write a symbol and say, what does that mean? And you would never figure it out in a million years unless I told it to you or I told somebody else and that person told you, man. So how was Ptolemy Soter able to get the Egyptian writing? Because he conquered Egypt. He took slaves. He said, look, what does this mean? What did that mean? Now, if the people that he enslaved said, I'm not going to answer you, what did they do? They tortured your ass, man. Go ahead.
It says Champollion published the first translation of the Rosetta Stone hieroglyphs in 1822, showing that the Egyptian writing system was a combination of phonetic and ideographic signs. So basically, all you got your information from Esau, the white man. All right.
But we don't even know that it's true.
Right. Yeah. Well,
that's just
that's just a theory.
Con. There's a picture of Champollion's grave, and it's marked by an obelisk. So you know what that means.
Secretly worship Egypt.
Yeah, that means, and also he's a Mason, and the Masons were set up to what? To deceive. They weren't set up to teach.
He could have been a front man, you know.
Yeah, Con.
He could have been a figurehead, man.
Con. And it's interesting. He came on the scene around 1790. That's around the time.
Contemporary with
Rothschild.
Well, he was also contemporary with this guy Napoleon.
Mm.
He was contemporary with Napoleon and the Rothschilds.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure the Rothschilds had a hand in financing this guy. So, you know, yeah, man.
But that's what they do. That's what they do. You know, all they do is just set up certain guys. Because, see, you got to understand that once the so-called white man conquered, his way is going to be what's right. Because why? Because he's in power.
That's right.
You know, so that's why they have what's known as gatekeepers. Gatekeepers are the ones that keep information out and keep information in. Whatever you see out there in the public food system or whatever is out there in the open, that's the stuff they allow to get out there. You know, but the real things that they don't want out there, they keep behind closed doors or they keep hidden. That's why the Lord said he reveals to us these mysteries in the scriptures, you know. Now, this is, I just want to read this real quick. This is the book of Colossians, the 2nd chapter. And Colossians chapter 2, just bear with me 1 second. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Because there's a lot of this stuff is just based off of philosophy, based off of deceit, cunningly devised fables, things that were passed down from generation to generation. Babylonian, Egyptian, Assyrian, Greco-Roman, Middle Persian, Roman, so on and so forth down the line. They were just different things that were passed on from one point to another. Now, you know, we're going to go into this. It was actually a poem called the Enuma Elish. You know, now that whole thing is basically supposedly it's a story depicting creation. But when you read that stuff, it's bugged out.
Yeah, that's like a script from a damn sci-fi movie, man. Yeah. And then this guy Polite, he had mentioned the Enuma Elish, and he also mentioned the Epic of Gilgamesh. All right, and like I said earlier, they mention those books because it makes a nigga stop. Yo, this nigga's deep. Yeah. Well, if you mention something, we're gonna look it up. Just like I asked Polite and Sarnetta, they were talking about, hey, y'all getting on Africans. Why don't y'all like Africans? I said, because they're not our people, man. Well, how can you prove that? And I said, well, wait a minute. You guys say that you're so much into the Egyptians or the Kemet, all right, and the ways. I said, where are they now? And it's on our video. Y'all didn't put it up. It's on our video. There was like a silence for about a good 30 seconds. Y'all just stopped and y'all looked at each other. And then Polite thought quick. He said, well, I got to make a comeback. He said, well, they're all over the place. I said, where? Where are they? Where are they? Oh, you said they're scattered all over the place. Can you identify them? Where are they? Show me one of them. And I proceeded to tell you that the descendants of the Egyptians, the so-called original Egyptians, or the Kemet people, Mizraim, are the Sudanese, the Zulus, and the Watusi. And I said, why? Because just like you dig up China. Let's say China's buried by a volcano, all right? And 1,000 years later, you dig up everything and you see carvings on the wall, and you can clearly see that they had round heads and slanted eyes. Now, if a white man from Germany, a damn cracker, blue-eyed cracker, with a straight face and round eyes, come and say, I'm one of those people, what are you going to say? He said, that's bullshit. Now, if you get a person that has a round head and slanty eyes and a flat face, you would have to say, well, this would have to be one of the descendants of these people. Right. Because you know what? You go by what a person looks like now and go by what the people look back 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 years ago, and you say these might be the people. Like going to Sarasut and Seti, you look nothing like an Egyptian, man. You look nothing like an Egyptian, man. The Egyptians were dark, super dark, and they were super tall. I'm talking about 8, 9, 10 feet tall. So y'all are all over the place, man. And we were the first ones, or we are the first ones to really, everything that you said, every name that you mentioned, every book that you go into, we're gonna go into it, and we're gonna delve into it and find out if those things are so. We already know that they're not so, but for argument's sake, we're gonna go into it, man. So that's going into your foundation. A lot of them people that are following your asses, they're going to start following us. They're going to start waking up to the fact that they're Israelites, man. And they've been scammed by you guys, man. You guys are done. And everybody's waiting. Most people that put comments on YouTube concerning y'all, they say you guys are scam artists, man, that you all about money, man. The reason why you want to have them debates is to get a big hype, and to get a whole lot of people to come watch that shit and buy DVDs and buy more books from you. And that's all right. If that's the way you make money, that's the way you make money. Because when Sarnetta came down and he spoke to me, he said, I'll give you $1,500 to be in a debate with Sarasut and Seti as a donation. Then I said, well, look, we ain't into the debates. You want to debate? You come right down here. You know where we at. We're on 34th Street and 7th Avenue, right? Then he slipped down to the camp down the street, and it's on video. So don't say you didn't say it. And you went to a car, and then it went from $1,500 to $2,000. Look, I'll give you $2,000. Why would you want it? Why are you so concerned about giving us $2,000, $1,500? Why would you come out your pocket like that? Because you stand to make. You might make $20,000 or more. But like I said, if that's your hustle, that's your hustle. Everybody got to hustle, man. You know? I'm just not going to be part of your hustle.
This is 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahushai, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. And that's our job, man. Our job is to go out there and break these strongholds down, and in turn you Israelites back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Right now, all of you are not going to get it, just the elect, but it's still our job to go out there and tell you whether you hear or whether you forbear. All right, this is Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh Shai. Because that's what you're doing. This is after the rudiments of the world, after the tradition of men. Because these things are set up by the so-called white man. You had the